So it's all for play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Hello, Aston Villa. Jesus Christ, what am I doing up there? Hello, Aston Villa fans, and welcome to For the Love of Paul McGrath podcast and final day of the season. It's been a long old season. It's been a short old season. It's been whatever season you want it to be. But I think today we will look back on, regardless, I suppose, of what happens, we will look back on a season like we've never, ever had before for Aston Villa Football Club. And I think that this actually sums it up from Dean Ellis. Believe. That's all we can do today is believe that Aston Villa get the result and that the footballing gods shine down upon us and that results go other ways for us as well. But let me just start showing those comments up on the stage. Yeah, there we go. That's brilliant. They'll be able to see our comments here and I won't have to look down at a completely different screen. Paddy is here. He's feverishly trying to get sorted in a pub somewhere. Jeez, he looks like he's in the back office of a pub somewhere. As opposed to, I got to bring you in, Paddy. Yeah, Paddy, I can see the rosters there. Tell Sinead she's late. She was supposed to start at 2:30. I can see it up there in the back. How are things?
Yeah, the very kind people have actually put me in the back office of the pub. So how are you?
What pub are you in? You're in Phil Flannery's?
I'm in Squire Maguire's.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Fair play to them.
So it's full of Limerick fans heading away to the match. So we'll have the place to ourselves in about half an hour, I'd say.
You're dead right, yeah. So I should actually probably be there beside you. Maybe not inside the office because I did get offer 2 tickets. But I must first of all say sorry to everybody. I couldn't make the preview. Bit of a family emergency. Ended up in A&E with the small lady. Bit of a story, but she's got a war wound to tell for it, and she'll have grand stories when she's older. So I missed the great chat that you guys had at the weekend, on Friday night with Nigel and with Jay, Paddy, and thanks a million for jumping in to do that. But yeah, I should be below. I was going to go down to the Limerick match, and I said I couldn't. Number one, leave the patient inside, but secondly, I've invested so much into this bloody season to not do the last Villa game and just blow it off to go watch Villa.
I think there's a lot more riding on this than there is in the hurling.
That's exactly, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. But anyway, we're here and we're awaiting the team news, which I think has just been dropped. So let me just pop that up, and we do have team news for Aston Villa. And it's one of these ones where I think people are going to be more interested in the Man United team because there's been a ton and a half of rumours about the United team, which we'll take a look at there in a moment. And just as I try and share my screen, everything freezes in front of me. So bear with me here, guys. This is really strange. It doesn't seem to want that. There we go. So Martinez, Cash, Konza, Pau, and Matson, McGinn, Kamara, Onana, Asensio, Rogers, Watkins. No changes as far as I can see there. You mentioned there is right. Tielemans on the bench, fit enough to start on the bench. And our benches: Robin Olsen, Mings, Barkley, Tielemans, Dina, Garcia, Malin, Ramsey, and Leon Bailey. So really strong bench. You can talk about that, Paddy. Talk about the team there. Just is there any surprises, I suppose, outside of Tielemans? Because to be honest with you, I don't have much to say on a team that I expected.
No, I'm exactly the same. There's no changes. I think I even suspected there was going to be that change at left back as well to bring in a player who's a lot more attack minded and will do something different to Luca Dean. Not that there's anything wrong with Luca Dean. I just think we need that something different today to keep them pen back and get at them early and get scores, because that's what we need. We need to get the scores on the board, get the others around us tetchy instead of us. And then hopefully we're looking at other results around us after about 60 minutes as opposed to worrying about our own still.
Exactly. Now, let's take a little look. So a lot of rumours were abound this morning about Bruno Fernandes being out, Garnacho being out, Onana being out, but Bruno Fernandes starts. Onana is out, Garnacho not even in the squad as well. So it's Binder in goals, Lindelof, who's out after the end of the season, Mazraoui, Maguire, Mount, Fernandes, Hoyland, who looks like he may be off the pastures new, Dorgu, Ahmad, Casemiro, and then Heaven, the young centre-half is in there. So it looks like it'll probably be Maguire and Heaven be 2 centre-halves with Lindelof on the right. Lindelof probably on the right, I would say. it's actually difficult to figure out what way they're going to go here. Anyway, I don't care really what way they set up. It was really about what he was going to do, whether he was going to clean house and start all the youngsters. He hasn't done that. He's just brought in the one, and he's obviously started their sub goalkeeper with Onana dropping out of the squad altogether. On the bench, they've got Tom Heaton, our old friend. They've got Dallo, Evans, Fredrickson, Collier, Eriksson, Menu, Ugarte, and Obi, the young striker there as well. So, yeah, Man United have gone with a decent. Have gone with a decent level of of competition there. So let's see where we are. As you said, Paddy, after 60 minutes, we've got the bench to bring people on. So let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. The only disappointing thing with the Man United team is that it's not Onana, because I actually believe that Boyinder is a better goalkeeper. Anytime I've seen him, he's been excellent. So he looks a far more accomplished goalkeeper than Onana. But that's just me looking at Onana. I don't watch Man United regularly, but if I do, I see Onana looking like a flapper every time he's in there. So I'm a bit disappointed he's not there today, because this guy is coming in to prove a point. And what do we have? Was it Mark Travers had that absolutely wonderful game against us earlier in the season when the goalkeeper was dropped. So I'm worried about that today, that he's going to go and earn his stripes looking into next year, because rumours have it that Onana is gone and he's out of there. And the same for Garnacho. I didn't believe that any manager worth the salt would have played Garnacho after his outburst the other night. So he's on his way out as well. But hopefully we don't have a situation where Boyinder stops absolute dobbers today, because I'm not sure I can deal with that.
In the last game when we drew 0-0, Onana had a world-class game against us as well, if I remember
rightly. He did have a good game,
yeah. So it's look, Boyinder has been brought. This isn't the first time Onana's been dropped all year. Boyinder was brought in for a couple of games. I think he was brought in for a Europa League game, and he shit the bed then as well. So as much as Onana, and then Onana was back in a couple of weeks afterwards. So look, as I say, a lot of people have said that, when I posted something that goes, watch the sub goalkeeper have a worldie, we have PTSD over that, I suppose, because it's happened time and time again. But just go and beat these fuckers today. Excuse my language. I'm very amped for this one, but just go and beat them. They will be the third. It'll be the third time we'll have won in Old Trafford. And the thing for me is, like, Paddy, you remember going back and we were talking about when Unai Emery, well, obviously Unai Emery comes in, we beat Man United in his first game in charge. Then he breaks a record about something to do with our third jersey. Remember that? There was some mad record, and that was like in his third game, and he just beats it. And then so he's been beating records. We win again. We win today. We have our highest points total in the Premier League in the 38-game era. I know football didn't begin in 1992, and it didn't begin in 94, was it, when the league went to 38-game a 38-game season. So I completely understand that, but it's still a big achievement because we've never done it in 38 games in the Premier League. So there's a lot riding on this game today.
We're always saying that we need to see progression. If we win today, our points total is more than it was last season, and I think we can't ask for a whole lot more than that. Obviously, there was games we should have picked up points in. It didn't happen. Just got to beat these today and hope that somebody else does us a favour along the way. Just with regards to this United team, would I be correct in saying that this is a three at the back? Lindelof, Maguire and Heaven, and then Masraoui, is that how you say it? And Dorgu on either side.
Or it could be Heaven and Casemiro playing in a double pivot, because he can play in defensive midfield as well.
Yeah, and that'll push Bruno on, I suppose.
Fernandes, he got mad stick for playing Fernandes so far back in the cup final, and maybe he's pushed him forward, so it's going to be Mount, Fernandes, Ahmad behind Highland, and then it's going to be the two boys. Then and he's just going to send Mazraoui and Dorgu as far up the field as he possibly can, and have essentially four centre halves. Then, because Casemiro at his age, he can't really get around the field as much anymore. Coming back and playing in as that third centre half with maybe Heaven doing the work in front. I don't know. Like, the big thing with the guy Heaven, isn't he, like, himself and obviously Obi, wasn't there, like, obviously Obi, there was big stuff about they robbed him from Arsenal's academy. Didn't they do the same with Heaven as well? Or have I made that up? Did they do the same?
I've honestly no idea. He's only come on my radar recently with a couple of games, but I've no idea where he came from.
Evan. Let me just see. Yeah, I'm nearly certain he did, but anyway, I'll check that out. Yeah, he was. He was with Arsenal, and then he only signed with United recently as well. So obviously highly thought of. He's only 18 years of age. But yeah, it is what it is. Paddy, will we tempt fate, and will we look and see what Chelsea and Nottingham Forest are lining up at? Let's do it. Fuck it.
To be honest with you, Neil, I'm really not concerned at this stage. I think the only way we start looking at this is on 60 minutes when we're hopefully home and dry and we start looking around the other results. Obviously, we'll be eyes down looking at everything throughout the game.
Yeah.
But like really, I just
the reason I say about Chelsea, though, Paddy, is
we need to do our
the reason
own
I'm
job
talking about Chelsea is they've no recognised striker.
Really? Oh yeah, so Jackson is out. Yeah.
Yeah. So Guiu is on the bench, all right. But they've no recognised striker, so they've gone with James, Tosin, Colwell, Cucurella, Caicedo, and Endo, Madueke, Palmer, and Sancho behind Neto. So they're playing Neto up top. In this, so I wanted to have a look at that, but because we've had a look at that, let's look at the Forest team. Where's it? Nottingham Forest. Let's see what the Nottingham Forest team is.
Once Chris Wood is in there, I'm happy.
And they don't want to show us whatever's going on. What the hell? Yeah, I haven't posted it yet. I'll take that off there. Yeah, that's interesting that they haven't posted it to their socials, but anyway, I'll try and find it. I'm sure it's up on FootMob. That's one thing I've learned this year as well, that why wouldn't the team post their stuff on social media? I don't understand.
It is a bit strange, isn't it? There's a few teams have done that to us on the Team Sheet Tantrum over the course of the season.
And I've also learned that FootMob seem to be the ones that have the most up-to-date record for lineups. So so who they have is the following. So this is actually a great view. I might start using this in future. So they're gone with Sells and Goals, Aina, Milankovic, Murillo is back. That's what I wanted to check at this one. Nico Williams, Anderson, Sangare, Dominguez, Gibbs White, Alanga, and Wood. They have a full complement.
Brilliant.
And that's what I wanted to see today if Murillo was back, because Murillo being back for me is a massive shot in the arm. It's as big a shot in the arm as that team could absolutely have, because they think he's the next Paul McGrath down there, and he's been bloody brilliant for them this year. So that's good. It's good news.
Okay. Now, hopefully that's the last time we need to look at that until we've our own job. We've our own job done. And hopefully we're looking at all three of them slipping up, because that would really make my day and make my life a little bit easier and calm the nerves.
Absolutely, yeah. Do you know what, Paddy? Let's do it. Come on. So since they are technically in the running for this as well, as in I think that they're going to win handy today. I want to see if Isaac is starting, and he is starting. Harvey Barnes is starting. Gordon, Livramento, Tonali, Guimaraes, Joe Murphy. Once again, a fully fit squad. There was doubts over Shard. There was doubts over Botman. There was doubts over Isaac. There was doubts over Barnes. They're all playing today, and Everton, in fairness to them, have gone with their full team squad as well. And I like that, because they can't get any higher, they can't get any lower. And the thing for me with regards to that is that, you think that every Premier League position is worth 3.5 million.
Well, that's it. They give full respect to the competition. That's all you can ask them to do. I'm not expecting anything from them today. They had their cup final last week. They said farewell to their stadium. I'm not expecting them to turn over Newcastle today. If it happens, brilliant. But the two games, I think we've a chance in. Well, especially the one we've just looked at, which was Forest. I'm pinning everything on Forest today. But I would love to see a Fulham victory and a Forest victory and take Man City and Chelsea out of the equation. And that would be just the icing on the cake for us today. But you might want to have a look at Fulham if
that's
you want.
It. Have them up there.
Yeah, I can't see that at all. I'm looking at this on my phone.
Yeah, so we've got Leno and goals. Robinson, Cuenca,
I have a helper here. It's giving me his phone so I can see it a bit better.
Robinson, Cuenca, Anderson, Tete, Lukic, Carney, Traore, Wilson, Pereira, and Jimenez. And then the City team is basically as you were. Ederson, Nunes, Diaz, Kanji, Gvardiol, Gundogan, Gonzalez, Silva, Marmoush, Doku, and Haaland. I'm not expecting City to slip up today. I'm a bit more. I think potentially they're like. I would not be surprised to see Newcastle Everton finish 1-1, and I would not be surprised to see Forest Chelsea finish 1-1 as well. You know, so as you said, it's just interesting. We never do this, and we obviously won't be. Hope we never have to do this again in future because we will have things in our own hands. But you know, they are the kind of the permutations and the teams that we will have to rely on today. I think so. It was nice to kind of go around the grounds there based on that as well. Pat, let's bring up the Villa team there again. I'll bring it up there again because will we dare to talk about, like, okay, let's take the big massive shot stopping elephant out of the room. I'll bring it up here in football, just make it easier.
I've got about 2 minutes here, Neil, before I have to
okay
this room.
all right. So
of the
of the people that are starting for Villa, and not even the ones that are starting, so I can't bring up the subs bench. I can. Here we go. Let me just share this. So of the subs bench here, Paddy, obviously, look, we don't want to talk about it, I suppose, really much, but we've got players on the bench there. Not all those players are going to be with Aston Villa next year. As I said, take the big shot stopping elephant of Robin Olsen out of the room. Everybody's going to be very disappointed the fact that he's definitely moving on. But who on that bench? You know, we're going to be seeing the musical chairs there, I think.
Well, you know, as he said in his press conference the other day, if he had to work with all this group of players again, he'd be more than happy to do so. We know Olsen is gone. We're probably expecting Bailey to go, given his actions similar to Martinez last weekend. And probably Barkley in there as well. I'm sure that there might be one or two others, but for me, that's where I can see the three obvious ones jumping off the page for me anyway.
Yeah, I think look, as I say, Leon Bailey, probably Ross Barkley. I think.
Yeah, but that's why I believe he's going to bring in Enzo Barrenechea to see if he's capable of doing it at this level, and that could spell the end of Ross Barkley. They do have an option, don't they, of another year?
With who?
With Barkley.
Yeah, but didn't he only sign last year? So I think he signed a 2-year deal, or maybe it might have been 1 with 1.
No, I think it was a 1 with 1. I could be completely wrong, but that's what's in my head. Yeah.
We'll see it. It would seem strange for him to sign on a 1-year deal, but I think getting back to playing the Premier League from Luton was probably his MO. And unfortunately, look, he's had a long period of injuries. So
that hasn't helped him. He's been a good servant, and bar a couple of mistakes, notably the one against Bournemouth when he gave away that free kick, which cost us 2 points. We might have been in a much better position. But you know, when you're coming in cold like that, it's a difficult position to go and play. He has had some really, really good games as well, but I think it's probably done and dusted.
I think so too. Look, it's hard to know. Someone makes a great point there. He is in the new kit shoot, but like,
true,
you know, we saw Jack wearing the new kit in the turnstiles, and then he was gone to Man City 2.5 weeks later. So you know that stuff like that does happen from time to time. Paddy, I'll let you go there because you're probably going to be evicted from there in a minute's time.
I'm going to give you my prediction before I go.
Exactly. Yeah,
I'm going to go with a nice handy 3-0 win for us, and I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw with Chelsea and Forest, and that's the only one that matters, I think. And then we'll head into a nice celebration tonight. Myself and Jamie here has been giving me a hand. We're going to wet his baby's head. New arrival.
Congratulations, Jamie, on the newborn. Excellent stuff. Excellent.
So we'll let you go, and we'll chat later, and hopefully everybody is smiling and happy by the end of this. But all we can do, as I said, if we go and get 3 points, we beat last year's total. We can do no more at this stage, and just hope for the best. Exactly. Mind yourself, Paddy. Have a good evening. You later.
Chat to you later. And for everybody there in the chat, you want to start getting your score predictions in there. So yeah, look, like Paddy, I think I'm hoping Villa go, and look, there's two brass rings that Villa can catch today. Like, Unai Emery is not beating Man United at Old Trafford. Go and do that. That's another little kind of mark in your bingo card that you can say, you know, and then winning a cup then will obviously be the centre circle. So it'll be bingo for me on the Unai Emery card. And he has next year to try and achieve that. So go and beat Man United. And then if we get into the Champions League, we get into the Champions League. That's absolutely fantastic. But Riverboat, where's he gone to? Brett Riverboat made a great point. I think it was Brett. Yeah, I can't find it there, but he said that, you know, if we get into the Europa League, it's not the worst thing in the world because, you know, the opportunities to win that trophy are very much there. It's arguably as easy, if not easier, to win that trophy than it is to win something like the FA Cup or the League Cup, based on the fact that you will have, and I know a lot of people actually recently have said we're never going to win the Europa League because Crystal Palace are in it, so we can't beat Crystal Palace. But you know, there's a lot of the league has been long, it's been arduous, there's been ups and downs throughout the course of the league, and we've had a league like I said, we've had a season like we've never had before. So hopefully we'll all be here and we'll be celebrating, and I think there probably should be a season. Well, it definitely should be a season to celebrate if we beat our record points total, you know, regardless at the end of it, and we see what next season brings. But get your score predictions in there, and I'll read through them there before we wrap this one up, and everybody can get seated before the 4:00 kickoff. Someone asked me for the Limerick team there as well. I'll tell you one thing: the Limerick team has 10 changes from last week, and this won't be of great. Actually, do you know what? Yeah, everybody in here that doesn't have a GAA team, everybody start supporting Limerick in the hurling. Just do it. Get into the sport of hurling. It's the greatest. It is one of the best, most entertaining sports you will see on the planet. And Noel Connaughton is after spitting out his pint of Harp wherever he is somewhere, and he's giving out about me after I say that. But calling it Pong somewhere. But yeah, start supporting Limerick because just it'll make your lives an awful lot easier if you do. Anyway, the scores are coming in here. The scores are coming in. We have, we'll start off with, where are we? Peter was going with 3-0 Villa and 2-1 to Forest. Michael Huggins is going 3-0 Villa. True Magpie is going 2-1 Villa. 2-0 says Dan Downey. John Duran says 3-0. 2-0 says Brendan. 1-0 says Garrett. 2-1 says Bernice. 2-0 says David Dwyer. 3-1 says C. Lion. Osgerm says 3-1. Audrey says 2-0. 2-1 Villa says Viva Villain. Dan is saying 3-0. John Steele is saying 4-0. Mark Wood is just saying 1. So there'll be 1 goal. Hopefully it's for Aston Villa. Cahoon Game is saying 3-12 to 9 points, and Chelsea's draw with Forest 1-11 to 14 points. I don't care what game they play as long as Villa win. Bear in the Garden is saying 3-0 to Villa, 2-0 to Forest, and 2-1 to Fulham. 1-0 off McGinn's arse, says Mark Wood. 3-0 says Mr. Ponge. 3-0 says Alan. 2-1 says Ian. 3-0 says the Easter Bunny. The Easter Bunny is a Villa fan. I knew Santa was a Villa fan, but I never knew the Easter Bunny was a Villa fan as well. That's brilliant. Thank you, Easter Bunny. And thank you for being so generous to my children earlier on the year as well. You were very, very good. Hoggington says a walloping 5-0. Bennett says Rogers is 50-1 for an assist. Oh my God. Jay's going with 2-0. Alan 3-0 again. Dinny is going for 3-1. Man, Dinny Fuzz the Duck is going for 3-2. Stephen Berry's going for a 4-0 with a Watkins hat trick. 3-0 says Carl Kennedy. 3-1 says James. Dan is saying 2-0. Cat Cannon's going 2-1. Declan's going 2-0. We score 4 and Forest wins, says Ad. 2-1 says Villaboo. Thanks a million, Carrie, for that as well. And thank you to everybody. I've actually got a ton of emails this morning. Thank you, Sean Moynihan. Your name just popped into the back of my mind there as well. Thank you for that lovely email you sent earlier on today, and thank you to John Fairless as well for that superimposing my head on Dennis Mortimer's body lifting the European Cup. I did get a good chuckle off that yesterday, so thanks a million to everybody for that. John Morgan says 2-1 to Villa. Amanda's going 2-0 to Villa. 2-1 says Paul Miller. Where else are we? Dave Dwyer is asking me, who are the Birmingham City of hurling, and I'll avoid them. Ooh, can I say Claire now that Paddy isn't on the podcast? I don't know. I don't know who the answer to that is, David. I don't know. I think I'll get back to you on that one. Jake Aston Villa is saying 3-1 to Villa. Bennis is saying 3-1. Michael is saying 1-0. Dan Donnelly is saying 3-0. 3-2 says Adam. 4-2 says Thomas Walsh. And thank you so much, Bolg, as well, for those very, very kind words. I am going to go with an Aston Villa. Paddy stole my 3-0, but I'm going to go with an Aston Villa. I'm going to go 2-0. Aston Villa, comfortable 2-0 win. I'm going to say that we score a goal from a defender, who yet I don't know, because somebody made a great point on one of our last podcasts where we haven't scored a ton of goals from. Now, look, no team scores a ton of goals from defense, but if you can up your goals from defenders, it by dint of how the rest of our team plays, and I suppose that would really come from corners, maybe, or from set pieces. By dint of that, you would increase our goals, and obviously we've talked about our goal difference. So I'm going to go with a goal from a defender today. I'm going to go with a Matty Cash goal today. And who else is scoring today? Amadou Onana. And he's going to turn to the camera and say, "My name's not Andre, mate." And it's really going to rub it in for Man United. So I'm going to go with 2-0 win for Aston Villa today. I was going to do a watch along, guys, but because of the little weanling inside that I need to go in and look after, I'm not going to do a watch along. I'm a bit disappointed. I was looking forward to doing the watch along, but needs must here. But I will be back on for a post-match podcast at roughly about 5 to 6 this evening, UK and Ireland time. So please join us for that. And it's in the lap of the gods now. It's in the lap of the footballing gods now. We win our game. We need snookers, as Paddy has said before. In a lot of ways, the Sky must be absolute. We'll get onto that in a moment. Sky couldn't have wished for a better last day for a Champions League point of view. And then they go in, they more or less blow off the top four and just are the four teams fight now for the top five. And I know they have to have Liverpool. I know that they were saying, okay, we'll put Liverpool and Crystal Palace on because that's the title game. Lift the title or whatever. But nobody is watching that game. Everybody is watching either Newcastle, Man City, Chelsea, Forest, or Villa today. And they missed the trick on that, and TNT stood up to the plate, and they've got that game on as well. So for all of you guys who are going to have 2, 3, 4, 5 screens open at the same time, I'm going to probably have the same here. I'm bringing another TV into the sitting room. I'm going to have Limerick on one TV. I'm going to have my laptop with Chelsea and Forest on. I'm going to have Villa on in front of me as well. And I'm going to be 3 screens, trying to keep an eye on 3 screens at the same time. And as I say, look, what will be at this stage. And hopefully I'm back talking to you guys at 5 to 6 this evening. With a big, massive smile, Champions League shaped smile on my face, and we'll crack open a can and we'll chat more about it then. But in the meantime, everybody, get yourself settled. 47 minutes to kick off. It's going to be a big one regardless. Beating Manchester United in Old Trafford is never easy, but the omens, the gods, the form book is on our side today. If we can't do it today, we will struggle to do it most other seasons. So let's just go there and put that one to bed this evening and put another little notch on the belt of Unai Emery's record and of this team's brilliant record that they've had over the last 2 or 3 seasons, where they have been breaking records, they have been creating their own history, and they have been moving this team forward as well. So I'm going to leave it at that, everybody. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your patience as well. And thank you so much for all the lovely words that you've said in the comments. We will see you at 5 to 6. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy. And all that's left to say is up the Villa.